Howdy, howdy, howdy. Where's Rick Walker? That's a big question. I'm going to turn this down here. Everybody's wondering, where is Rick Walker? Rick needs some time for himself, obviously, or Rick Walker would be on the air. He's not on the air, so he needs some time for himself. I get it. The guy's been busy. He's stressed to the max. He don't like to see all the hatred that's been going on in the chat room, right? Hopefully you don't throw in the towel, because you know what? I've really enjoyed his work, and his work's been spot on. Chat's wide open, I guess. Can you guys hear me all right? Who's ever watching, say hello. There we go. AD. Okay, I see you now. Yeah, this funny thing is with Rick, look at what he's done, right? In the last, I've been watching him since November, right? Faithfully, and he's been on the air. He's probably put in more work and more hours than he ever did with CTV. Okay, and I get it. He needs some time, man. And he's messaged a few people, and I sent him a message back saying, look, you're not going to lose any of your following. They'll be here when you come back. Don't you worry about that, right? So what do you guys think of the, hey, Dawkins in, PDS is in. What do you guys think of what's going on in Memphis? Now there's a video, I haven't seen it yet, of the 5 police officers that brutally beat down a driver and killed him. Right? It's pretty sad. Really sad. Railroad, you're in. Dakin, you're in. So there's going to be a lot of things that happen in Memphis. Our local police chief actually stated in a comment today that he don't want to see any riots and this and that. I don't think it's going to go that far, especially in Canada. It's nothing like what we've seen down in the U.S. with the Floyd George beatings and stuff like that, right? Where they killed the guy. It was 5 black police on a black pedestrian driver, I think it was. He was driving a vehicle, right? They pulled him over. So it's not a race crime or a hate crime. It's just brutal police crime, right? So you might see something spill over to Canada, but I highly doubt it, right? So our police chief's up in arms, right? He wants to be informed if there's any protests going on, this and that. And that was in the local news today, right? So he's got to make a statement about it. But police brutality has been going on for a long time, right? We've seen it a year ago. Seen a lot of it going on a year ago in Ottawa. So it's pretty sad to see. You think we'd have evolved from just lessons learned, right? How far do you got to go back? Police brutality's been around forever, right? Forever, ever since they made the police. Some been really brutal. So I'm on my lunch break anyway, so I'm in my office. This is my office. Look at this, yeah. I messed that up. Show you around the office. So you got the police brutality going on. You got the war in Ukraine where some think it's going to be full out World War III coming, right? And you see in a lot of chat rooms, World War III. They're sending 100 tanks, which is really nothing. Imagine being in a war against Russia and you're going to send 100 tanks for support. It's not going to work out very well. You're just sending scrap. In the end, it'll all be scrap steel at $220 a ton. That's all it's going to be. So the more weapons that they send, right? And I got to agree with a lot of people that I do hear saying that the Russians will not forget, okay? All these countries that are helping support the Ukraine is the fight against Russia, and that's pretty bad. Okay, it could end up implications right across the board in Europe. Like, who are the Americans in NATO to jump in bed with Germany, of all countries of the world? The Germans. Weren't we at battle with the Germans in World War One and World War Two? Boy, how times have changed. You know, Canada used to be a peaceful nation where we sat and we spoke about resolutions and making peace with the world. Not anymore, right? And you see it now. You see it with this liberal government. You know, it used to be honorable to join the military and do the right thing for a lot of people, right? And protect the world on the peacekeeping stage. Not anymore. They're having a problem trying to fill boots on the ground in the military, and I get it. You know, there's just too much conflict going on. Too much. I don't know where I'm going with it, but it's reality. It's reality TV at its finest, and a lot of people are going to get hurt in the process, right? You know, you put sanctions on a country and you try and starve out their people. What do you expect that country to do? Protect their people at all costs. So, sanctions. We see sanctions going on here in Canada against their own people. Bank accounts being seized. That's a sanction, right? There's a lot of things going on in Canada where it's no different than Russia. And that's our own government placing it on their own people, sanctions. The fire started, yep. Yeah, a lot of people think that Fort McMurray was started by the government. You know, like to create havoc, to clean it up and come in and say, hey, we did it. We did it. We cleaned up the havoc. But they created it in the beginning, right? So they look like the good guys in the end. You got to see through the bullshit. And I see clear as day what's going on in the world, right? I watch a little bit of the left, I watch a little bit of the right, and I absorb it all and go, even the Pelosi videos now, me and my wife, she's like, I don't know where she said, she's in the middle, far middle. And I see how these Pelosi videos are coming out today. Supposedly, they lost a court battle with San Francisco, and the judge ordered these videos to come out. And, I've been hearing from the right, the far right, oh, wait till you see these videos, wait till you see these videos. He let the guy in, he didn't get hammered, this and that. But when I watched the video today, he sure did get smacked in the head with a hammer, that Pelosi. Okay? And I watched the videos going, the right, what they've been saying all along about the Pelosi, they're wrong. The video shows it all, right? I just don't know why the video wasn't shown sooner, a lot sooner. Could have cleared up the air, right? So, not that I'm a Pelosi fan or any of it. I'm not saying he deserved it. He didn't deserve it. Nobody deserves a hammer in the head. But there's more to the story than meets the eye, right? That's just the videos. But a lot of things are being caught on video today, guys. You know it. Look at the chat room. A lot of people videotape everything. Now, a friend of mine at work, he's 6'7", muscular. He's been offered to join the police on several occasions, right? And I said, why don't you do that? He said, I make more money doing what we're doing here. I said, but imagine dealing with the people. And what he said to me was, imagine people with their cameras filming everything you do as a police officer. That's a good thing. Keeps everybody in check, right? You won't be seeing too many police cracking heads open unless you're in Ottawa on video. RV, you're in the house. Big Dice, you're in the house. Railroad's in the house. Amnesty's in the house. Dakin's in the house. DK is in the house. Got a few people in the house tonight. So when you have that camera pointed, and a lot of people it's reality TV, man, you ain't going to get more real than that. Film don't lie, unless you re-edit it somehow. But live film, good luck trying to re-edit that one, right? So a lot of things are caught live as we see it. And we're in a time like no other. No other. I grew up in the days like most of the chat here, probably around my age. I grew up in the days where ColecoVision, Atari, before all that shit, right, was even on the scene. And now look where we are today. Everybody has a camera in their phone, and you know, everybody cries foul about the government trying to track you, this and that. But hey, you got the best tracking device the government could ever give you, and you bought it. It's called the phone, right? Everything's tracked. I'm tracked through my phone, guaranteed. You know, the police want to try and get a hold of somebody. All they need is that phone account, and they got you, plain and simple. Let's see what the chat's saying here. RV thought you were open a room, whatever that's supposed to mean. But anyways, you know what? We're in a crazy times where everything's videotaped. As for Rick does need some time off, folks. Okay, and I'm sure everybody. Don't you worry, Rick. If Rick's gonna watch this later, or if he gets on, everybody is going to be watching Rick when he comes back. Rick's pretty popular. He's doing a good thing. You know, some people don't like the truth. Like I just said, you got the right, the left, the middle. It's where you stand at the end of the day, where you feel comfortable. I put up a post today about what they see on the news, that there's going to be restrictions for the convoy for parking. So if you go to Ottawa, the 16th to the 20th, there's special restrictions for parking, whatever that's supposed to mean. What's special restriction? An impound? I don't know. And there's a guy on there that, you know, you're going to have your left, and he's on there commenting, oh yeah, it was a big joke, this and that. If you don't get what the convoy was all about last year, good luck. You know, if you like paying for the price you're paying for groceries and housing and clothing and everything that's gone up, and it's only going to go up, right? Don't come crying in 6 months, because I called it last year, and that's my reason for going to Ottawa, was the housing crisis, the food. I seen it all going up, right? And I'm sure everybody else did too. I wasn't alone on that, because we're all paying in this country. And when I seen it, that was my reason for going to Ottawa. Now, we had our shit down here in the city of Windsor, and I spent my time down here too, right? The last week I was down here faithfully when they closed that bridge down, right? So you're going to see videos popping up here. I'm going to figure out a way how that guy did it last night. If anybody knows, contact me. I got a bunch of videos that I did film. I want to film as live as they did last night, because there's some really good videos. I'm interviewing Fox News. Fox News is interviewing me. I'm interviewing Fox News. I interviewed CBC. I interviewed Global. I interviewed CTV. Okay, and they all gave me, you know, and I told them the way it is. I said, people are sick and tired of the fake news. I get it. Okay, I grew up in this town. I know a lot of journalists. Okay, and they're told what to say, more or less. It's scripted. It's fake TV. You know, they can't come out and everything's re-edited when they get back. Now, the poor guy with the camera and the anchorman, okay, that are local, they got a job to do. They report it. Now, when it goes upstairs, they cut, snip, do this, do that, okay, and it's not even close to the story that they seen. And I go live, right, interviewing the head of Global News there, the guy for on the national level, and he was answering questions. I got him, right? Fox News, ABC, they're all down here. So, yeah, hit the like button. Thank you. Yeah, hit the like button, share this. There'll be more videos. Like I said, we're going to pop up and go as we go. I'm trying hard because I got a big workload that just came in, and it's probably about 6 months worth of work for me, and that's 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week if I want it, right? And I like money. I like making money. I don't like giving it to the government at 30% tax. Another big thing I heard today in the news, which is pretty funny, Joe Biden wants to get rid of the tax, the 30% tax, okay, that people are paying over there, and just make it one tax on sales. So everything you buy is 30%. So you buy a chocolate bar, it's 30, and there's no more income tax in the U.S. I don't like Joe Biden. I don't like any of that crap. Taxes got to go down. the cost of diesel's got to go down. It's not gas trucks that are delivering all the goods across Canada. It's diesel. And when you have diesel at over $2 a liter in some towns right now, I paid a buck 86 or buck 87. And I thought that number was funny because 187 is in police code is a homicide, right? So a buck 87 is what I paid today, and that's a homicide. So I don't like paying it, and that only drives the price of everything that's getting moved around logistically in the country, right? Plain and simple. The price of diesel goes down, the price of everything else goes down. But I highly doubt the price of everything else is going to go down. Once they got you paying, it's gouge time. Bend over, folks, and take it, because that's the way it's always been. I've never seen the gas prices as high as they are right now. Once they got you, you're bent over, you're going to take it. And that's pretty sad to say. But it's the truth, right? They got you paying when bananas were 29 cents a pound last year, and now they're at 79 cents a pound this year. You think bananas are going to go down because the diesel's going to go down? I highly doubt it. You know, some people were calling in on Rick's show, and somebody made a great statement where they said the prices will always be higher now. Nothing's going to go down. Loblaws, I think it was Johnny, he called and he said Loblaws made record numbers. All these big chain stores, record numbers. Now our provincial government, which is Doug Ford, okay, promised there'd be no price gouging. Well, what's going on now, Mr. Doug Ford? We're getting gouged. Everybody's getting gouged, right? So it's a struggle. It's a struggle when you got Christine Freeloader saying, plain and simple, Canadians have to make sacrifices. Really? Sacrifices for what? The Ukraine war? Because that's where they're sending all our money. And it's not cool at all. And I don't stand for it, and I don't stand by it. As we speak now, there's lots of protests, anti-war protests going on throughout the world as we see it. And you'll see it live. And that's a good thing. I'm against war. I'm against all that bullshit. We're in 2023. If you can't sit down diplomatically and solve the issues at hand, wow, 2023. I'm not for any of it. The tanks being sent. My brother's a tank commander with the Dragoons. He's been in there 33 years. He's been all over the world, you know, and I told him to retire last year. You know, how much can you squeeze out of it? But he likes what he does, and hopefully he don't wind up on the battlefields in Poland or the Ukraine or wherever it's going to be next, right? Could be in Norway. Yeah, it's fascism at its best. Now, I don't know much about Putin, but, you know, he's got to stand his ground. You got people killing Russians in the Donetsk area and all over the Ukraine because they're Russian. Well, I'll tell you what, Ukraine used to be Russia, old Russia. So these leaders, that Zelensky, the faster he's gone, I think the better it'll clean up in the world, right? Yeah, attacking a lot of people. Putin's a good guy. I get it. You know, if our prime minister stood up for us the way that Putin did, shit, he might get reelected. But it's too late. He had his chance. The jig's up. The game's over for him, right? He thinks that these protests, it's all about convoys. It's not about convoys anymore, folks. It's about the average citizen trying to make his way. When you got no more middle class, and that's where we're headed right now, we're on the verge of no more middle class. You're either rich or you're poor. There's no in between, right? That's where Trudeau's problem's going to come. And that's coming very fast. You know, hopefully they do call for a damn, what would we say, election or an ejection. I like to call it an ejection. But the election, I don't think it's going to happen in the spring. It's political suicide. The only way he's going to get called for an election in the spring is on a vote of no confidence. And then what happens then on a vote of no confidence? Time will tell, right? Read some of the comments here. Exactly, we came together because we had no choice. Sad to say. Sad to say it, but it's the truth. That's right, man. And it's not just an individual thing, okay? Uh, the individual, let's say, hypothetically speaking, what I said is a nationwide strike the other day. It's not an individual thing. It has to be a movement. The whole country, 2/3 of the country has to act in order for it to work, right? For me to say, yeah, I'll go off. I got 6 weeks vacation. I could go off tomorrow. I don't give a shit, right? Um, but it can't just be me. It has to be everybody, right? So you got to form a group, do whatever, get the word out, bang, bang, bang. Everybody fall into place, right? Let's see some more comments. Dylan's what? Raging it out? Yeah. You know what? When you don't have the money to properly feed your kids the way that they should be fed, and that's healthy, we got a problem. Remember, organic? The government was pushing for healthier dinners and this and that. Eat the greens, eat this and that. Go buy the greens in the supermarket right now. It's cheaper for me to eat steak. Believe it or not, that's the truth. I think we had New York strip loins on. My wife just grabbed a dozen of them yesterday. New York strip loins for $3.99 a pound. A head of lettuce is more than that, right? So you get a 1 pound steak. I'm good with that, with a potato on the side. So it's cheaper for me to eat beef than it is to eat lettuce, tomatoes. Make a salad. Remember, it used to cost you about $7 to make a decent salad? Now it costs you $27 to make that same salad. So we're headed down some strange times, guys. Really, it is. It is what it is. We got to get Rick back. I'm not good at this anyways. I'm trying my best. I'm winging it. Call it whatever you want. But I'm speaking the truth, right? In the way that I see it. My truth might not be the same that you're seeing, you know, but this is what I see, right? And I see it happening all around. You know, thank God my daughters, my son, they're older, right? 2 daughters are working. The 1 son lives with me. Everything's good, right? But shit, I couldn't imagine raising a child. My kids don't want to have kids. They don't want to bring kids into this world. And you know why? Because I just told you it's too damn expensive. So my bloodline might be gone. And that sucks. Right? So there's 3 Leos. We all have the same last names, the same middle names, the same first names, but there probably won't be a Leo Laurent Lucier the fourth, because it's too expensive. And my kids see it, right? My 17-year-old kid, he's like, man, I don't want to have. So when are you going to have kids? I'm joking around with him. He's only 17. I don't want him to have kids right now. He said, I'm never having kids. You know how expensive it is? Well, yeah, son, I'm the one been paying for you. I know exactly how expensive it is. So I get it. You know, that's pretty sad, you know, when Canadians don't want to have kids because they can't afford to have the kids. So the government's just going to let the immigrants in. They're going to let them into the military, too, without Canadian citizenship. Mark my word on that one. You want to come to Canada? Here, put on some combat boots. Grab that machine gun over there. You're going to the Ukraine. You're going to earn your citizenship the hard way. The ski mask way is what I call it. So it is what it is. I can't change the world, but we all can change the world if we all stuck together on the same page, right? Now you got the unity and all that crap going on. And the convoy, the regular convoy, you got the peace freedom fighters, you got the right wings, the left wings. Shit, there's more wings than there is on a bird, right? And just know where you are. Just be peaceful. That's all I say. I speak the peace. I live the life of, believe me, I lived the life already, and anybody that's watching this that's from my area that knows me knows I went the hard way, but I came out smelling like a dozen roses in the town of Roses, right? So, the city of roses, that's the way it is. I'll get into where I was in life, and it makes that Colin Big Bear look like a teddy bear. That's a fact, Jack. Uh, but it's not where we were that matters. It's where we're going, where we're headed, and I'm headed in the right direction now. At 52 years old, that shit didn't start happening until I was 38. Men don't grow up. Unfortunately, a lot of men out there might say different, but a lot of men don't grow up till they hit 40, and that's the truth. So I had 40 years of being an idiot, more or less, right? But it was fun. I'm not going to take back anything that I did, that's for sure, because with me doing that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You got to learn from your lessons, the hard lessons. So I got one more minute to go, and my break's over. That's lunchtime break. I just wanted to check in, keep everybody cool on here. Subscribe to the station, like it, do whatever you got to do, right? Get the ratings up. I'm going to get that going though with the live videos from last year from Ottawa, and I'm going to run them live so we could chat in the room. I'm going to look forward to getting that going, and yeah, because I got some really good footage, boys and girls, a lot. It's pretty good too. So it's pretty funny when the Fox News Detroit knows me by name, and they've interviewed me on a couple of occasions prior to the convoy, right? And yeah, I got those two. I'm gonna upload those videos on there too. So with all that being said, you guys enjoy. Rick will be back soon. Don't you worry about that, because there's one thing you can't take from Rick, and that's his trade, his gift, his gaff, right? And that's what Rick does, and Rick does it good. I said Rick should have been on Rebel News. They should fire that girl that was tearing Jeremy McKenzie apart and hire Rick. Rick would fit perfect on Rebel News, don't you guys all think? Maybe we should write the Rebel News. But I unsubscribed to Rebel News because of that. I wasn't very happy with what she said about Jeremy McKenzie. She don't know him, this and that, but she really cast serious judgment over the guy. I don't know the guy, but I could tell you this, it wasn't what she was saying. Yeah, he jokes a lot. I watched a couple of his shows, and I thought it was funnier than Saturday Night Live. Okay, and Saturday Night Live is pretty liberal, but he's pretty funny, I'll tell you. So with all that being said, guys, I got to roll. Thanks for watching.